thank both of the witnesses for your testimony. The first panel will now be excused, and we'll welcome the second panel to come and testify.
My name is Dawn Grove. I'm Corporate Counsel for Karsten Manufacturing Corporation. I also chair the Arizona Manufacturers Council, and I serve on the Board of Directors of the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry, both of which oppose the current IANA transition. Karsten Manufacturing Corporation is the parent of Ping and Ping Registry. Ping is one of the top 3 golf equipment brands in the U.S. and provides over 800 jobs in Arizona. We are a closely held private family business started by my grandfather in his garage, and we've been passionately designing and manufacturing custom-fit premium golf equipment and other products in Arizona for over 57 years. We have vigilantly protected our brand and that name in many categories, including for domain name registry services. Our name is our lifeblood, and we aim to ensure that the Ping name reflects the innovation, design, service, and quality that we put into every one of our products. We believe rushing the transition through now in its current state will endanger manufacturers' rights to their trademarked brand names, severely disadvantage states' rights, jeopardize national security, and prevent the safeguarding of the internet freedoms we've come to depend on. Karsten, through its affiliated company, Ping Registry, paid ICANN's unilaterally set $185,000 application fee for .ping, and in our application, we informed ICANN of our well-known rights to our famous Ping marks. A wealthy ICANN insider based in India that had never made or sold a Ping product, had not trademarked the name throughout the world, filed a competing application with ICANN for .ping. We expected ICANN, with its actual knowledge of the India company's history of adverse domain name decisions against its affiliate and knowledge of our trademark rights and our global brand, to follow ICANN's own charter, bylaws, and applicant guidebook and disqualify the competing applicant. I believe Mr. Strickland also said that there were somehow equal applications. I find that stunning. We eventually discovered that due to ICANN's dependence on the sale of second-level domain names, which the Indian company would have sold more of since our registry is a closed .brand, ICANN had no incentive to follow its rules and bylaws, and ICANN's lawyers made it clear that ICANN would consider our application breached if we took them to court. Under duress, we ended up paying ICANN's $1.5 million at auction to keep our name. I cannot begin to tell you how scary it was for my family to go into that auction knowing that we might lose our name after 57 years, 56. Our experience is not unique. I'm sure you're familiar with the many independent review complaints filed against ICANN and with the abuses of ICANN's trademark clearinghouse with the .sucks registry. The handoff is definitely more than a technical matter or a spreadsheet. ICANN is currently accountable to NTIA for both policy and technical functions, and we heard Secretary Strickland say that today about the policy that they make. Following the transition to global stakeholders, ICANN will be a standalone monopoly accountable only to its stakeholders, including 162 foreign government members and 35 observers, the Governmental Advisory Committee, or GAC. And under proposed accountability reforms, GAC consensus advice must be taken unless overridden by a supermajority of the ICANN board. This is a major change from the status quo, and it gives governments more power in ICANN going forward than it ever had before. Moreover, in the GAC, state governments are excluded from voting. States such as Texas, California, New York, whose GDP and populations dwarf that of many GAC members like Grenada, will have no voting right at the table. If the ICANN plan is so complete and so inclusive, where is the seat at the table for the 50 sovereign states? It also appears that both the NTIA and ICANN are operating under the assumption that a former federal contractor inherits the right to continue performing services absent a contract. If we applied that conclusion to various government services such as defense contracting, that would lead to chaos. The internet is no less important to our national security. The so-called empowered community, a convoluted structure of stakeholders that will only be activated in times of crisis, assuming they can all agree it is a crisis, is not suitable to provide day-to-day oversight of ICANN's board. The ICANN community requested, and the ICANN board rejected, a streamlined single-member model of governance that would have provided a method of governance for a method for day-to-day oversight by the community. It doesn't take much imagination to see how the stage will be set for an enhanced GAC to step into that role, since the community will not have that ability for that day-to-day oversight. In ICANN's rush to meet NTIA's deadline, some of the most important work was left undone. Workstream 2 issues, such as the permanent jurisdiction of ICANN and the protection of human rights like free speech, they don't get addressed until after the transition. Make no mistake, there are participants involved in the Workstream 2 work who desire to see ICANN leave California and be reconstituted in another jurisdiction outside of the easy reach of U.S. courts, and who would likewise wish to cherry-pick which human rights are observed by ICANN and which are not. My hope is that ICANN will intervene to safeguard the free and open Internet for the use of the world, and also require the repairing of ICANN's structure to ensure that it adequately safeguards trademark rights, states' rights, human rights such as free speech and the free exercise of religion, our national security, and the security of our friends and allies around the world. Thank you.
Mr. Horton.
Mr. Chairman,